All right, let's take a look at Aleks lesson or assignment 1-2, number 10. Finding where a function is increasing, decreasing, or constant given the graph and interval notation. Now it says determine the intervals where it's strictly decreasing. So this is tricky here because the instructions up here say we're doing for increasing, decreasing, or constant. But then right here it says determine the intervals on which it's strictly decreasing. And what's different on intervals when you're away from domain range is you never use brackets. So we're not going to have brackets here. No brackets. Why? Because brackets are reserved only for domain and range. And I shouldn't say only, so matter of factly, I just can't think of anywhere else we use brackets if it's not domain and range. So for now, I'm going to leave it at that. There might be other ones, but right now, just no brackets on this. Okay, so let's look at this first piece. We're going to look left to right. When you're checking with interval notation, you always work smallest numbers to biggest numbers, and this is going to go off of x value. So the first piece, looking left to right, is that going up or down?
Down.
Down. So we're going to call that decreasing. Second piece. What's happening here?
Up.
Up. And that's increasing. This one?
Constant.
Constant flat. This one?
Decrease.
Decrease. And finally
And
this
constant.
one. Okay, now this says we only want the decreasing. So deciphering, I don't need this piece, or this piece. Those three, I don't have to do this one, or this one. I don't have to pay attention to those. We're only going to list these two here. Okay, so from left to right, this left value is at -5. And again, with increasing, decreasing, constant, you only use parentheses. I don't know why they tried that. They decided that in math, but they did. Someone did, and that's just the rule. So it's going to be parentheses from -5. And don't get mixed up on the y values. You don't pay attention to y's. You're only looking at x's. It's kind of like domain in that regard. We're only looking at x's. It decreases up into -4 there. You follow?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put parentheses because, again, with increasing, decreasing, constant, you don't use brackets. So I'm going to do union. The reason I have union is I have a second piece that's decreasing.
Because wait, you have since it's decreasing and it's separated, like it's separated by an increase and a constant, that's why you use a union?
Yes, because there's a break. Anytime there's a space between the values, you use a union. So there's a space. And it doesn't matter how small the space is. It could be just a little bitty open circle. Like if it was decreasing, union, decreasing, you would still do a union. I'm sorry, I said the union. If it was decreasing, open circle, decreasing, you would still use that union. So anytime there's a little bit of a gap, you do a union. So from this piece, don't tell me the value's 2. We're not looking at the y-axis. What's the x value right here?
0.
0. So we go from 0 and down to this point, which is at what x value?
4.
4. And that would be your answer there. So a lot of people get mixed up and they put the y values. But the fact that you're saying decreasing lets you know the y values are going smaller and smaller. So you don't have to list the y's because decreasing means that the y's are decreasing. The y's are decreasing. These are the x values over here.
Okay.
These are the x values where y's are decreasing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So these right there are the x values where, let me go around this way, where y's are decreasing. That's kind of like that concept. And so this will be the answer right here in blue.
All right.